Well, hello there, Aries. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your 2024 reading. So Happy New Year! And in this reading, we'll first start off by taking a look at the overall energy or theme for your year, and then we'll use the tarot and go into each of the four quarters to see the energy for each of the four quarters, any obstacles that are on your path, and of course, advice from Spirit. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. All right, let's jump into it. Let's see what we have. Unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. Okay, and koi fish spirit. There is always enough. And this is the number 36, and 3 plus 6 equals 9, which means that you're kind of at the end of a very difficult cycle where you may not have felt like you had enough. You know, you were making enough or you were enough. Okay, you could have had a lot of situations where you just felt like you didn't have or you couldn't create enough, right, for yourself, or that it wasn't coming onto your path. And so now you're starting a new cycle because it's unknown territory. You're in a new position. You're not really sure what lies ahead, you know? So you could be on the precipice of taking a new job, changing careers, moving to a new location, starting a new relationship, something that you haven't had before. And it's kind of like this energy, I feel like, is kind of like still in your aura because you're coming out of a cycle of feeling perhaps that you didn't have enough or you aren't enough. You may have lost a lot, and so you're kind of like having that energy of, do I have what it takes to make it in this new cycle? You do. You definitely do, Aries. Yeah, beautiful energy. Now, one of the things is that last year, 2023, the energies were really chaotic, and that was a 7-year 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. And that is the Chariot in Tarot. It was just chaotic. The Chariot just kind of got out of whack, So things were happening really fast. But even at the beginning of this year, you may feel like you didn't make any progress. Even though the Chariot can mean progress and victory, you may feel like you had a lot going on in your life, but you're kind of like at the same point, right? At the same kind of place, like it's just all lateral moves, right? But it is like a shift. So once again, you could have a job that's very similar. You could have taken a new job this year that's kind of similar to what you had last year, right? But it's kind of like at the same level. It's not really that different. But it's opening up this possibility of meeting new people, of learning new skills, right? Of, expanding in a different direction. Same thing. Some of you could have purchased a new home this year or are about to purchase a new home, right? But it's like not that different from what you had before. And you're kind of like, why did I go through all this? And I have something that's really kind of like on the same plane. But here's the thing. It's not. It looks in the reality maybe that it's very similar to what you had in the past, but it really isn't. And that's what your guides want you to know. Okay, so this year is the number 8. 2024 it adds up to 8. And so this is the year of the Strength card, okay? Now, don't feel like you have to have strength to get through more obstacles on your path. It's really that inner strength that to have patience, to have perseverance, to have resilience, to have grace. If you think about the Strength card, right? The little girl is cuddling up with the lion. The lion could attack her, but she's using her inner grace, okay, to tame the lion. It's not about force. It's about having that inner strength to stay the course or to go in the direction that you know is right for you, even if it looks scary, right? So let's take a look because here, look, you have the 10 of Cups, milk and honey. This is the 10 of Cups. This is something that's divinely guided on your path, right? Something that is coming in. And I feel like it comes in quickly when it does come in. The sense that you have the Strength card here. That having the patience to kind of like go with what you know is right for you, right? Even if it's not happening suddenly, okay? It's kind of like having the perseverance to say, okay, I'm on a new path, but I have the courage and the strength to go on this new path. I don't have to revert back to what I had before. It is time for a new beginning. You're at the end of a difficult cycle. And so it is allowing yourself to perhaps have to take those baby steps, to not feel super confident in what you are doing, right? But having that inner knowing that you are going in the right direction. All right, so let's get into reading. Let's see what we have in the first quarter. Yes, it's time to make a decision. You are at the fork in the road, right? It's kind of like, and for some of you, you could have made this change just in the last month or so. For others of you, you may be making this change in the first quarter. Now we have Pluto moving from Capricorn into Aquarius on January 21st. This is a huge transit, okay? Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008, the last 15 years. And now it's going to transit into Aquarius and be there for 20 years, okay? The last 15 years we've been dealing with this energy of these are the rules. We have to follow the rules. If you follow the rules, you'll have success. But a lot of us experience following the rules and then not necessarily having the success that we were guaranteed, right? This is a much easier energy for you because the Capricorn energy is very kind of like hard work, working hard, diligently, just kind of like building the pentacles, right? The Aquarius energy is a much more aligned with your fire energy of wanting to go out there and explore and have adventures, go in new directions. But with Capricorn, I feel like you kind of lost your confidence in yourself. And so when you had those disappointments along the way, they kind of piled up. It's maybe not that you had a big disappointment. Some of you may have, but if you had little disappointments along the way, they chipped away at your confidence. And now you have the opportunity to go in a new direction, right? But you get to choose. Are you willing to go the new direction? Even if it feels a little unfamiliar, a little bit scary, can you allow yourself to have patience with yourself, to go the new way, and to know that you may be a novice in whatever this is, right? You may be starting to start a relationship with somebody that's totally different than what you've had before, or you're taking a job that's totally different than you've had, right? Or you're moving to a new place, but it's kind of like, okay, I can do this. I can do this because I do have this resilience within me. And it is something that does bring in the sense of balance into your life. The thing that I think you're getting here, the advice is that to create a plan for yourself so that it helps you. If we have a plan, and it doesn't mean that you don't tweak the plan as you go along, but if you have a plan, then you feel a little bit more confident in yourself. You can kind of like take time to plot it out. What steps do I need to take in order to get where I want? And once again, it's not about following the rules that somebody else created for you. It's about creating your own plot, your own rules about how to navigate this new unknown territory that you're going through. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Yeah, there's the Ten of Swords. Something difficult has ended and in the previous year, okay? It's not ending now unless you're choosing to end something in order to go towards something new, right? But it is about understanding that you've been holding on to this idea that maybe you need certain people or certain situations to be working in your life in order for you to have balance in your life. This is understanding, no, wait a minute, you can create, Aries, whatever it is that you want. It's about allowing yourself to have patience with yourself, right? To feel like you don't, like last year, the energy was so fast, right? This year is much slower, allowing us to reconnect to our intuition, to kind of going back and deciding, is this in alignment with what I really and truly want for myself? Or am I just doing this because I've been told, I've been conditioned to believe that if I do X, Y, and Z, I'll have the success that I've been wanting? Really kind of interesting because I think this first quarter for most people is kind of reassessing where where are you and what it is that your heart truly desires as you move forward. Okay, so let's take a look at the second quarter. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so you've had some disappointment in the past. This energy is kind of like here. So Aries, if you're feeling like you can't shake something from the past that was disappointing, I feel like the first half of the year is really allowing yourself to see the good, the blessings, and what has ended, because karma is coming into play. Karma is about to balance this out for you, right? So if somebody has done you wrong in the past, all of a sudden you're going to understand that sometimes it takes a while for karma to play out. But here, karma is finally playing out, okay? Things are coming back into balance for you, right? And you're learning, okay, with the teacher here, you're learning. You're no longer the student. You're becoming the teacher. You have done the healing. You can see the big picture now. You can leave behind any feelings of unworthiness, okay? Or, not having enough, not being enough, not doing enough. You can leave that behind because there is a sense that you have completed a major lesson in your life. And now you can move from being the student into being the teacher. Really beautiful energy here. That is part of the unknown territory. For some of you, if you feel like you have spiritual gifts or have wanted to step into an energy of helping or healing, serving other people, this is the year where I feel like you may really step into that, understanding that what you have experienced on your path, okay, has been difficult, but you've done the healing. And once you kind of work on your healing, finish your healing, right? You become a teacher and help other people to heal. Beautiful energy. Yeah, I feel like you're getting some good news. Something that you weren't really ever sure you were going to receive. That kind of like kept you up at night, or this is even daytime anxiety, right? Kind of play mental games with yourself because of something that happened in the past, something that was disappointing, something that ended, that wasn't necessarily, what you felt was fair, right? Something, good news is coming in, helping you to see, okay, the good of something that was disappointing, the blessings, the silver lining of a dark cloud. Something is coming in that kind of revives your energy, allows you to move forward in a much faster pace. Okay, so let's take a look at the third quarter. And we have the King of Cups here, really kind of getting that emotional balance back after, times of difficulty, times of feeling like people were betraying you. I feel like 2023 really may, and I'm sending you lots of love and hugs because I think 2023 may have been very difficult for you, Aries, because you're still transmuting that energy a little bit. Yeah, you have the betrayal. You have the strength to overcome this. Look at this. Lovers, following your heart. This is beautiful. You are transmuting this though, okay? So you have the Seven of Swords. I feel like somebody may have betrayed you in the past, okay? It could be a boss, an employee. It could be or an employer. It could be a family member, especially a father or a spouse. Somebody betrayed you. Somebody left in the middle of the night for one reason or another, right? Something happened. And therefore, it's kind of left you with this sense of, when is the rug going to be pulled out from underneath me again? And what you're understanding is that this is coming into play. Karma is coming back in to make things right. So you could hear from this person, right? Either wanting to make amends in one way or another, especially if there's finances involved. Could be wanting to make amends for what has occurred in the past. But this is you understanding that that situation freed you from something, okay? Whether you wanted to be freed from it or not at the time, it has freed you. It's put you into a new timeline, an unknown territory, right? Where you have the strength, and here comes the strength card, right? You have the strength in order to manifest what it is that you truly want, and no longer kind of like reacting. So if you found yourself kind of overreacting or feeling like your emotions were taking over because of disappointments, a disappointment came in and you could have emotionally kind of overreacted to it and made a decision based on that overreaction, right? Then now what you're understanding is that all of those disappointments along the way over the last 9 years have helped you to come into an energy of mastering your emotions and not making decisions because you feel as if you're not enough, but because of what your heart truly desires. Beautiful. That is a major soul lesson that I think you are stepping into. It helps you to manifest then from this very healthy energy. So for some of you, over the last 9 years, maybe over the last 15 years, okay, you've had this energy of really, perhaps at times, making decisions about what it is that you want for yourself based on disappointments or based on betrayals of what other people have done, right, to you, kind of like out of a sense of trying to find balance in your life. But you were just trying to find balance in your life instead of making decisions based on what your heart truly desires. Yeah. I mean, I think we can all relate to that a little bit, right? Something happens in our life and then we make a decision in order to balance it out. So you lose your job suddenly, right? And then you take another job because you have to pay the bills, right? So you're taking another job, but you're not taking time to stop and say, you know what? There's a blessing here. I don't have a job at this moment. Okay, that's a little scary, right? Your emotion of fear of, will I be able to survive and pay my bills because now all of a sudden I don't have a job, right? But instead of just taking another job, which would be that Capricorn energy, you have to have a job, you know? So you lose your job and you just go out and get another job. But this is the energy of, well, wait a minute. Let me think about it for a minute. Maybe that job really wasn't meant for me. Maybe I really didn't like that job. Maybe I even manifested that job ending. So what would I like? Since I have this blank slate, I'm in this unknown territory, right? What would I really and truly like to do on a daily basis? What career? What job? Who would I like to work with? Where would I like that job to be? Perhaps I want to move to another country. It's an opportunity. And I feel like that is what you're understanding, is that when you have the sense, the strength card to remember is about patience and perseverance and not making quick decisions, of listening to your heart before you make a decision, manifesting with this patience instead of just like, I got to go and get it, right? That you can really and truly create the world that you really want instead of the world that is just filled with things that kind of like take space for what it is that you really want. Wow. Asking yourself, are you afraid of the void? Right? A void occurs when something leaves our life, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a situation, right? Something leaves our life and it leaves a void. It's kind of like, are you just trying to fill the void? Is that the energy that you've had over the last 15 years? I'm not enough unless all the holes are filled up, right? I have a void. I got to put something in there, right? This is the energy of, I have a void. What would I like in that? Let me take a look at the big picture of my life. What's missing? What would really fit into that void very well? What is it that I don't have? Let me connect the dots of everything that's in my life and see what is it that I really and truly would like for myself. Wow, beautiful energy. Okay, so let's go to the last quarter. This is really beautiful because I feel like the first 3 quarters, you're really working through this, understanding how going a little bit slower really helps you to create the world that you want for yourself. All right, so let's go to the fourth quarter. And Aries, I do personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. In fact, I have a special 2024 reading and it really goes into each of the 12 months instead of just the quarters. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. All right, so let's take a look at the fourth quarter. You're making a big decision. You're going in a new direction. You're understanding that all the chaos and the conflict of the past was really because you were trying to stay in aligned with what you thought the world or what you were conditioned to believe you were supposed to want. Now you're not. Now you're deciding to go towards what your heart truly desires. Instead of filling up the holes, the voids in your life with something, what your understanding is, I want to fill those things up with things that I truly love. So, in other words, if some void occurs in your life, I feel like, yeah, look at this. You're taking the time, you're meditating, you're quieting your mind, you're listening to your heart and building the life that you really and truly want for yourself. It's a beautiful energy. This is why you have this here, right? This is why you have the Ten of Cups as your final outcome. You have the Ten of Cups because it is, you are creating, you are taking your time to create what it is that you truly want for yourself. Understanding that when things leave our life suddenly, right, that is because that was no longer in alignment with where you're going, right? You had learned what you were supposed to learn from that. It had expired and it was time for something new. Yeah, you're going into the unknown. Look at you. Here you are, you're going into the unknown. Knight of Wands, going into the unknown and being okay with it. Seeing a different perspective that the unknown isn't scary, okay? It's just unfamiliar. That it feels scary because it's different. But by just filling up the voids with, I lose a job, I got to put in a job. I lose a relationship, I have to put in a relationship. Understanding that that is just creating the same reality over and over again. This is a huge shift. This is you saying, no, I want not to continue to recreate the same reality. I am willing to have the courage to go into the unknown, to create, to manifest the life that I truly want for myself, based on what my heart desires, instead of just having everything filled, all the holes filled. Wow, beautiful energy. All right, Aries, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice and see what we have here for you. What can I do to make a difference? Yeah. What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it, such that every ounce of you screams no more? Where can you create purpose out of your pain? Okay, so that is really interesting. I'll put that up there for you. But that is exactly what this card is all about. It is looking at, okay, the pain that you have been through, this energy of following the rules and not really acquiring what it is that you really wanted in life, right? Just filling those holes. For some of you, I wouldn't be surprised if you go into coaching, right? Or, counseling, or you could even become a teacher, helping other people to see that it's not about just juggling and making sure all the holes are filled up, but really creating the life that you truly want. The dream life, creating the dream life that is really in alignment with what your heart desires and not necessarily what you have been conditioned to believe you desire. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, Aries. I do wish you such a happy and healthy new year. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your journey, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.